Welcome back everyone to Elite Dangerous, and today's video is another internals guide. In this episode we're looking at power plants, and it's the third part in the series. So of course in the video we'll be looking at what a power plant is and what it does, classes and ratings, power capacity, mass, heat efficiency, cost, and also I'll do a little live section on power usage and power management. So first up, what is a power plant and what does it do? First of all, a power plant actually fits into the reactor bay internal slot in your outfitting section. They generate power in the megawatts for our ships to use, and they also use fuel from our fuel tank to actually do that. Fuel can be bought from power stations or scooped up from certain stars using an internal compartment called a fuel scoop. Power plants actually vary in size, and the larger the ship that you buy comes with the larger class of power plant, and these classes vary from all the way to the lowest ones, which are 2, all the way to the best ones or biggest ones, which are 8. With a higher number class it comes more power produced, a bigger mass, and actual costing more as well. Now inside each class there are ratings for different types of power plants ranging from E through to A. E is being the worst at generating power and heat efficiency, A being the best at generating power and heat efficiency. There are also variations of mass and cost and everything deciding in those ratings. So next up we have power capacity, and this is pretty simple. What it shows you on a power plant is what this power plant will actually be able to maximum produce. If you have internals that go over the megawatts, say for instance you have a 13 megawatt power plant and you have 14 megawatts of utilities inside your ship, then it won't power 1 megawatt of stuff, and it will shut those things down so it can power everything else. It's pretty simple to work out power production. Of course, the higher class you go, the more power is produced, but also inside the ratings, so inside a specific class, there is actually an increase and a decrease in power produced, and this is pretty simple to work out. Hard to describe though, so I'll try and get it done. A produces the most and E produces the least. Every increase per rating jump is 10% of the rated C drive. Now to put it in perspective, for instance the 4C drive is 13 megawatts power capacity. Every increase inside the class 4 bracket is 1.3 megawatts. So for instance the 4B drive is actually 14.3 megawatts production. Now onto heat efficiency, and power plants actually have a huge effect on heat efficiency, and it's found just to the left of your minimap if you're wondering where heat is actually displayed. So of course if you don't properly maintain heat, then it can overheat your ship and damage its hull, and eventually you will blow up if you are too hot. And generally where you're near a star and you're trying to charge your frame shift drive is where it's going to be a big problem. So by buying a better rated power plant we get better heat efficiency, and it can, just when you're standing still in a ship you can notice that going from an E to a is a huge increase, and your heat temperature will drop down by like at least 20% just by being idle. So it's a really big effect, guys. And the way we work our heat efficiency is represented in ratings, and basically all rated E power plants have the F rated efficiency, all rated D power plants have the D rated efficiency, all rated C and B plants have the C rated efficiency, and A plants have a B rated efficiency. I don't know if there is any A rated efficiencies out there on the biggest ships, because currently I can only look at an ASP and there isn't too much detail out there on the biggest ships for me to actually take a look at. So sorry if there are an A rated efficiency ones, but I currently can't find them. Next up we have mass, and this is incredibly simple to work out, so pretty much it depends on the rating and class that you have picked. If you move up a class staying within the same rating, it will double the mass. So for instance a 4C plant has a mass of 5 tons and a 5C plant has a mass of 10 tons. And of course guys, like I said, the ratings also decide the mass of the power plants. Basically the D plants are the lightest plants inside of a class, the A plants equal the C plants, that's always the same. B plants are double the weight of the D plants, which are the lightest plants, so it's double the weight of the D plants, and the E plants are the heaviest of all, and they are double the weight of the A and C plants. Okay then guys, so up next we have cost, and as with all internals, the bigger the class and higher the rating, the more expensive that internal will be, and it is the same for power plants. However, it's very simple to work out the cost of power plants. They've got Frontier have done a very simple method for this, and it is basically if you move up a rating staying within the same class bracket, it costs 3 times more. So for instance, going from a 5B power plant costs 1.7 mil, and a 5A plant costs 5.1 million. That is 3 times more. It's very close on that. It's like, at least or at most like 1,000 credits out each time. On the next one is if you move up a class staying within the same rating, it costs a little more than 3 times more. So for instance, the 4B plant costs 563,000 credits, and the 5B plant costs 1.7 million credits. Okay guys, I thought I'd do this bit live, and it's basically the power management section. So, on your outfitting screen, the bottom right, it shows your power use. This is the only section you need when you're looking at power management pretty much. Your available section here, this is what your power plant produces. Your attracted section here, this is what your ship uses when everything's tucked away. Say you're in super cruise and you haven't got all your hard points out, and deployed is with your hard points actually deployed. So yeah, and currently I am actually exceeding that available megawatts, so I need to change something in my module priority. So what you need to do is just go into your right hand panel. For me it's F2 as I bound it, and I go into the modules section. So you're normally on the status section, head to the modules section, and here is where you actually find all of your little sections, all your internals that you can actually power on and change priorities of. So very quickly, your cargo hatch, I just disable that fully. That's only, I believe, for picking up cargo, like say something's floating around and you just want to go pick it up. I think it's only for that. So for instance, that takes 6% on the ASP. I'm not even using it at all, so I just completely power it off. I click space to actually power that off, on and off. So yeah, anything you don't want powered, just turn it off. For instance, all these things don't actually generate or use any power, so I can turn them off if I want. However, most things you're going to want powered a lot. What you want to be doing though is changing priority. So for instance, if you have a lot of guns and everything, and when you deploy them, some things go offline, to actually stop that from happening, all you need to do is just change a few of your priorities. So you just need to be using your D and A keys for that, just to move your priority. So very simply, if you've got a lot of guns and everything, change your frame shift drive to priority 2, change your cargo hatch to either off or priority 2, and you can change a few other things to priority 2 as well, maybe sensors if you don't want them on when you deploy everything. You might not want your shield generator on, depending on how you are, but yeah, generally just changing priority and everything means you don't have to have the biggest power plant to power your ship. You can just change priorities and turn things on and off to actually keep your power and your ship and shields and guns running. And yeah, that is it for the video guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it has helped, and stick around for more. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.